What's going on, guys? It's the one and only Fessy, and I just finished the OutEast podcast here at Poppin' Snacks, and I just want to give a quick shout out to Poppin' Snacks. They got all these amazing snacks. I don't even know what half of them are, but I'm going to try them because they look good. Look.
Hello. Welcome back. It's OutEast episode. What episode we on? 22? Okay. OutEast episode 22. It's your boy, Dylan. We back. Got Marco with me.
Yeah.
Got Kevin, Mr. 407 Kevin.
What
I
up?
probably messed up on the introduction, but we got some dope people in the house. We do. And the special guest, you might have seen him on nighttime TV. You might have seen him catch a couple dunks on your favorite player. Or you might have seen him harass a shorty on a TV show. Or you might have seen him on Friday Night Lights. But with no further ado, I got my boy, Fessy Fitness in the house. How you doing today, brother?
It's good, man.
Good, man. I appreciate y'all having me on the podcast. We go way back, like we were talking about before, probably 15 years through a mutual friend from football. And I also know Jose. He used to live in the neighborhood I grew up in. So, small world, man. I appreciate you having me on the podcast. I'm excited to talk some shit.
You've been up and up ever since we were kids. But for the folks who don't know anything about you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, because that harassing girls line was crazy.
That was kinda crazy.
What does he mean by that? Like, what?
I don't know. I
was he
think
going with
you
that?
must have been watching the challenge for a couple seasons now or something, because that's the old me. And I ain't never harassed no girl. You can check all the footage on MTV's The Challenge. Any girl ever came into my bed, I never went into their bed. So there ain't no harassing. Change that statement.
You heard it here
Let
first,
be known
folks. He's
here.
on the up and up.
It was a joke.
That
It was a
crazy
joke.
first.
My bad.
first
I didn't
thing.
mean to set you up like that, bro.
No, it's all good, man.
But
I'm
yeah,
used to it.
Tell the people about yourself, bro.
So I'm from Orlando, Florida, right here. Born and raised. I went to college in Tennessee. Played football at Tennessee Chattanooga. And then about a couple years after that, I didn't get picked up in the draft. So, kind of moved back here, trying to figure out what was next. And then I was substitute teaching actually at Oak Ridge High School right down the road. Actually, that was my sweet spot because they paid $100 and every other school pays $75 because Oak Ridge is Title I, a Title I school. So the substitutes that came through there, they got ran out. Like, it was a harder job, because it's like kind of in the hood and stuff.
The incentive.
Yeah, but for me, I was still a young kid. I was 24, just straight out of college. So I had no problem, relating to the kids or whatever. So it was easy money. So anyways, I'm sitting there substitute teaching, and it's pretty much babysitting. So I'm on my phone watching Ninja Warrior. And everybody, you sit at home, watch shit, and you're like, man, I could do that. But, man, I was always a kid growing up doing shit like that, jumping off the house into the pool and the trampoline. Like, I was that crazy kid. So, like, man, I could do this. So I sent an audition tape, Ninja Warrior, got on Ninja Warrior, didn't do too hot, didn't advance. I fell on some stupid shit. But that opened up my mind to, like, what else is out there? So I applied to Survivor. Survivor actually flew me out to an interview in L.A. I made final, casting, all that. Last minute, they said I didn't fit the theme, and they were like, all right, we want you for Big Brother, because it was the same producers running both shows, So that's how that happened. I got on Big Brother, did one season of Big Brother, and then from there I did 5 seasons of The Challenge, made 3 finals. Haven't won the show yet, but been a big part of it. So, it's changed my life, I haven't won the big money yet, but it's opened up a lot of doors, given me a chance to compete, and I'm thankful for it,
Nah, you should be honored just to have the opportunity just to be out there, bro. That's a huge deal. Congratulations.
Yeah, man,
dog.
it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, for sure. So you said growing up you were kind of like an outgoing or rambunctious kid. How many bones did you break as a kid?
He was breaking bones.
I was breaking other people's bones. No, but I was always the quiet kid. I wasn't the most extroverted, life of the party. I was always a quiet kid. Even in high school, didn't smoke, didn't drink, I had
Sleeper
girls.
cell.
Yeah, I didn't do none of that. I was like, I'm going for football. That was my mindset.
Athlete.
I had tunnel vision. Yeah. But as far as like breaking bones, never broke a bone in my body. But like, I got like dislocated. This is torn AC joint. So basically, my shoulder.
Snap.
So I
Shit
got
is
like
protruding.
bulging disc. So like never broke a bone, but my body definitely got 100,000 miles on it. You know what I mean? Like I got my college paid for, for football, all that. It was great. I get to compete on the challenge, do all this crazy stuff. But I'm 32 and I wake up in the morning and I can barely put my socks on sometimes. That's how bad my body hurts. Yeah. So
So
You know,
bulging disc.
bulging disc.
What? Speak to that. What is that? What is that?
So bulging disc is, I don't know. This happened like 10 years ago when I was in
Okay.
college, but it's in your back. You know,
Okay.
with your disc, your spinal disc. Something about like whatever's inside the actual disc, it's bulging out,
It's like
causing
collagen.
Yeah,
It's
collagen, I
inflamed.
guess.
It
Yeah,
gets
it's inflamed.
'cause
Yeah.
it's like,
Damn.
like injuries, you know.
There's no cure for that. You got to just
You
live
could
with
get
that shit.
surgery.
You can get
Get
surgery.
the needle in your
What?
in your lower back.
So like back in the day, actually my grandfather had it, and they went through the front of the neck, and they fixed like your vertebrae in your back of your neck. Yeah. So he had a big scar here in the front.
Oh, his was in his neck. Though.
his
Mine's
neck,
in my
yeah, the
lower back.
Yeah. So I don't know how like that's done with like surgery and whatnot, but
But they said surgery was 50-50, meaning like we could go in there.
we might not fix it.
Yeah,
but
We're gonna take all your money. We're gonna
try.
fuck you up,
So-
and it's not gonna work neither.
Go
So I
in the
passed,
back.
I passed on that. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll just do therapy, whatever, and it
Wait
still
for more
hurts.
medicine.
Still hurts, but you can stretch, you can do things for the pain. So
So on the topic of bulging, pause.
Go, Kevin, go.
All right, little that you don't know about me is I'm a wild boy. Okay, so I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get right to the nitty gritty. What people want to know: how did celebrity or stardom or having these opportunities change your life in terms of the opposite sex or like getting with the females?
okay, so that's a good question. So there's a difference. I feel like I've kind of always had my way like in that department because, like I said, I'm so introverted that like going out with my friends, I was always, the tall, dark dude, right? So I already was kind of like mysterious. And then I'm not the guy going up to all the girls at the bar. I'm the like
Smooth shooter.
You're like the challenge essentially, because they're like, why is he so quiet? Why? You know?
So I'm
Why do
having-
girls love that, dog?
That's
I
the
hate
thing.
you.
That's
I hate
what
you.
you have.
They
It's
want to
like
know.
reverse
They want to know. Yo,
psychology.
why is he so quiet?
Yeah, it's
Yo,
a mystique
like,
to
yo,
it.
he's not having a good time. Like we're
Yeah.
curating the vibe right now. Let me go talk to him.
So the secret formula is, and especially on the challenge, right? Because I get to compete too, right? So we're all in this house. You got all the first night. You got all the guys, trying to hit on all the girls.
Alpha-ing it out, egoing it up.
I don't even know if it's alpha, but they just know like their time's running out. They gotta shoot quick.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they gotta
yeah.
be. That's some guys' mindset. Like when we go in these houses, because you got to think there's around 15 girls, 15 guys, and it's like like there's only a handful they're probably interested in. So they start getting at it. So me. I'm the first to bed at night. I'm always going to my room. I ain't going in other girls' room, like going to snuggle. No, I'm going to bed before anybody, right? And they're gonna be like drinking, having a good time. Like, where'd Fess go? Then they're like, let's go find out.
You playing seeds. You out here playing a strategic game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask. Hold on, don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Let's go, Mariah.
Mariah she was a girl that before I got on TV, I was trying to slide in her DMs, leave me.
Was she on TV?
No,
Yeah?
she wasn't on TV.
Okay.
So wasn't replying, whatever. So then I ended up going on TV, getting a girl for 2 years. We broke up. Then I was single, so I was shooting my shot in DMs. Everything was nothing but net. It was crazy. But
I love hearing winning stories, dog.
so anyway, so then I slid her in DM. We started hanging out, started fooling around, hooking up. But that's all it really was. But I think she was looking for something a little more
Serious?
Yeah, and maybe it's my fault when it comes to women because like when I first get to know a girl, she's cool. Like I'm throwing the whole kitchen sink. I'm showing them like the world is theirs. Like I'm giving them everything they need. Like
Love bombing?
yeah, basically I never heard that term, but
What'd you call it?
love bombing? What is it?
Love bombing.
What is that?
Oh,
mean?
No, it's like when you.
bombing?
I'm not throwing the L word around.
No.
It's not like in
But
the
I'm a
literal
good guy.
sense.
Like you gonna like me. Like
You
I'm
show
gonna
like
make
your A game, like you're showing them the whole world.
yeah, the whole package every time. And
So
I'm
when they
like,
start doubting, is this even real? Because you're so perfect for them.
I think contrary to popular belief, a lot of dudes do want to be wifed up and want to be in a good relationship. But then we start hanging out with the girl and noticing flaws and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And then over time we start like, oh nah, well it's better for me
I'm
to
not
just
gonna
be
wife her,
single.
just fuck her.
Or I wouldn't say
No,
that.
but-
like the dude, like the
It's
goal
recorded.
is to be wifed up. So you seem
Yeah.
like the type of dude that like if I like her and she's showing good green flags, I'm gonna throw it all at her. And then as time goes, she's gonna show me her character.
yeah, well, I didn't take the time to get to know her that well, but like, she's good to look at, whatever. That was the, appeal at first. And then once I got to know her, I was kind of like, oh, this ain't really my vibe. Like, some guys kind of like, she's just like real bubbly, wants to tell you about her day at the line in Publix at the grocery store.
Don't you hate that
Like,
shit?
just the most random shit, and it's like,
I don't want to hear about your
like,
day.
it's cool, whatever, but like,
Lot
that's
of
not for
details.
me. Like, I don't want, like,
to hear it every single day.
yeah, and
like,
some
all right.
guys like it because they're trying to smash,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
but
There's
that's
no
not
actual
for
substance
me.
to it.
So I kind of took a roll back, whatever. So then the challenge calls are like, hey, we're gonna do a season. It's called. Well, they didn't even say what it's called, but they're like, you get to bring either a really close friend or a family member of the opposite sex. So I'm like, fuck, I don't got nobody. I'm not bringing like a girl I like because that's just a recipe for disaster. I'll never do that if I'm interested in a girl. And then I wasn't about to bring my sister into that drama because like, you know,
Sis,
if
that
somebody
baby
says
sis.
something to my
It's
sister
a
on
wrap.
that, I'm
It's wild,
going
it's
to jail.
wild.
So the Mariah thing, we had hooked up and we had kind of like went our separate ways, like we're cordial. So I called her and she was one of the first people I thought about because I was like, me and her have no like emotional attachment, right? We had already fooled around and established like, yo, none of us are really trying to do that. So I hit her up. I was like, hey, listen, I got this opportunity. I think you'd be good for it. But man, she kind of bamboozled me because on Instagram, you see her like she's super in shape, super this. And don't get me wrong, she's athletic.
strong. I've
So
seen
when they
her.
go to the BBL and all of a sudden like they're like gym influencers.
Nah.
she's
Legit.
She's like an eat your macro, like booty builder, IG fitness person, right? She's in really good shape, looks great, and she is athletic. I'm not gonna sit here and say she's not athletic.
It's not for a challenge.
But the challenge, you got to be like ready to get down and dirty. I'm not saying she's not willing to, but that is not her. She looks like this huge, like buff, whatever, and she will give you what she's got, but. You know, she looks like she's all
She just didn't
bronze,
have it.
but she's this little pretty powder puff little girl inside, you know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much that.
What's the craziest challenge you've done on the show? Like you were like, oh fuck no, but I'm gonna do it.
Man, I've probably done like damn near almost 100 different challenges. And
Shit.
there's probably like 10 I can name right now, but one just off the top of the head, there was one, we were in Iceland and there was a helicopter. There was like groups of 5, so it was 5 of us on the beach in Iceland. Helicopter pulls up, it's got this big ass cargo net hanging from it. And it's got like just stuff in there just for substance. Like I think they had yoga balls in there just to make a big cargo net like, you know, wide. And it landed on the beach. I'm like, all right, jump on it. No harness, no nothing. Usually we have harness when we're climbing buildings.
Yeah.
Grab onto the cargo net, it picks us up off the beach, flies over the water like 20, 30 feet. Not, you know, we're not 100 feet, but good bit.
Still a good fall.
And they're like, all right, throw each other off the cargo net. So we're climbing across the net, trying to
Fight each
hold
other.
on, pulling each other off. That was, just for example, like
And
that's the
whoever's
type
the
of shit.
last person standing is who would win the
Yeah,
challenge.
that's the type of shit we do. Like, or we're on a boat, a speeding boat, not speeding, but a speedboat going 20 miles an hour in the water. Helicopter pulls above you with a rope. You got to grab the rope and then hang for a distance, drop, swim, like the craziest shit
That's
you do.
wild.
Like,
That's crazy.
so you have no time. People sit at home, they're like, oh man, that looks so fun, or I would have done this. You got to think, bro. Like, we're in there, like, it's $1 million on the line.
Oh no way.
We got a lot of nerves. Yeah, it's a lot in the spot.
Do you get anything? I know, like the winner obviously gets a prize, like the grand prize. But do you get anything for just participating in the show?
Yeah, so we get compensated weekly while we're filming. So while it's airing and all throughout the year, we don't get paid. But while we're on set or location filming, we get paid weekly. And if you last, you know, sometimes the show could be 8-9 weeks long. If you make it all the way in, you could make, you know, a good year's salary where you could live off for the rest of the year, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but you still gotta use it as a stepping stone. You know, a lot of people get wrapped up in the reality TV, and it could be just one season and you're done, and you were 5 minutes of fame, you know. And I've kind of been doing it 6 years now, so
Wow. Congratulations on that.
I'm
Dead
trying to
ass,
just
for real.
keep it going, man.
What are some things you had to learn like along the way while you're like, because reality TV, that's like a whole different beast. Like how scripted is it? How real is it? Like,
Well, one thing I had to learn is you can't change who you are and what you believe, like, especially when the world, like, me being so well known has made me be comfortable with me being myself even more, because the world has seen all my flaws on TV, all my mistakes, and I'm like, that's all y'all got on me, like these little
Yeah, you're living
things?
under a microscope. But
And this is
it's
the worst
liberating.
you got on me, like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been on TV 6 years, and this is all the stuff you want to highlight, like when you talk about people, whatever. So you can't change your character. You know, a lot of people will do what's popular just for the clout on social media or the trend. Or you could be who you are, and eventually that shit's just gonna stick. They know, like, hey, that's just how Fess is now.
We not canceling Faysal at all. I don't care what y'all say.
He's living in his truth. Like, how can you cancel somebody who
Yeah, and
lives
I'm
and embodies
yeah.
themselves? I love that. I live by that. Too.
And I'm never afraid to like admit when I'm wrong. Like everybody, if something happens with a female, I'm like, I always take all the blame, you know, because it's like you're not gonna win in that situation anyways. It's just gonna be back and forth. No, this is why I did this. So it's like it was my fault. Let's move on. And you know, that's kind of what I've been doing.
I did see you in the boxing ring. How was that? Who's your trainer? First of all, who's your trainer?
Jonathan Cortez. You know Jonathan Cortez? Twins?
His brother Chris.
Yep.
Ah, okay. Went to
Yeah.
middle school with him. That's
Yep.
crazy.
That was my guy. Yeah, he trained me good. So how that fight started was, I guess they were doing like reality television Big Brother fights. So they pinned me with this dude who won Big Brother Canada.
You beat his ass though. I didn't mean to cut you up, but go ahead.
Yeah, he was. I mean, it was.
I seen it.
Fire.
It was amateur boxing, right? So we had the headgear on or whatever, but we still had to get like licensed and do the card thing for the amateur, whatever. So it was this dude. He won Big Brother Canada. He's my height, but he was about 260, 270, but like a little chunky, but he's still a big boy, you know. And he had played like semi-pro ice hockey in Canada, and there was like fights on YouTube of him like fighting and shit.
He's a brawler.
So before
There's
the
no
fight,
fights of you online, but there's fights of him.
so before the fight, you know, I was away filming the challenge, making money, doing my thing. Like the fight was just gonna happen after.
Yeah.
So I get home and he's sending me videos of him like this into the camera, and I'm like, oh, he really thinks it's sweet over here. Like he really thinks he's about to get me. Like
That's
if
crazy.
you're sending me that, you really think. So I'm thinking
Like showboating.
he probably thinks he see me on TV, and
Like a
TV
sweet-
they don't edit me the greatest.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
He's probably
He's
like,
like,
this-
oh, I'm
That's
about to
sweet,
sun this
well,
man's
yeah,
up.
this pretty boy, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I've been in like 5-10 fist fights in my life, downtown Orlando pub. Like I've knocked some people out, bro. So like I know what my hands could
You
do.
were confident walking in.
Yeah. So and also they listed him at 6'5" and me at 6'3", and I'm like 6'4" and some change.
Yeah.
So and when we got to the hotel and he saw me,
He's like, oh, wait.
I was a little like we were like the same height. I thought he thought you know I was gonna be a smaller dude,
Yeah.
and like just the way I was carrying myself, you know, you could tell
Like
out when you meet somebody.
symbol.
Yeah.
I think he saw me on
I
TV.
have
he was
all
like,
the confidence in
This
the
shit
world.
is sweet.
Yeah.
He got a little psyched out when he saw you.
So it wasn't pretty, right? Because he immediately ducked his head, but it was
Yeah.
like a 40-second TKO. Like he was in the corner. I was teeing off on him. They called the fight because he couldn't protect himself. But that shit was cool to do. You know, they paid me 10 bands to just go beat somebody's
Fire.
ass.
Yeah,
Fire, let's do
Hell
it.
yeah. That's dope.
What's next?
Well, right now, you know, I've done 5 seasons of the challenge and I haven't won it. So if they keep calling me back, it's hard to turn down the money they're paying you weekly, and then I get a chance to do shit I'm good at. You know, it's not like we're going on a show and I'm like, oh, I'm scared of this stuff. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like, and everybody knows that by now. When I show up, it's like, you know, they talk this shit online. He's never won, or he's not as good at this person. But when I show up in that house, they know like, fuck, Fess is here to play. Like, if you line it up against him, he's gonna give you everything he got every day, and that's the name I wanted to build for myself on that show.
So at this point, like, are they bringing in just old, like, guests every single time now, or are they bringing new people in as well?
So they mix it up, you know. Like
Okay.
this past season, it was a bunch of like newer people who've only done 1 or 2 seasons
Gotcha.
because they wanted to see how they measure up. So usually it's a mix. They'll do like half vets and then
Gotcha.
half new people and just you know spice it up. But
You still want to do Survivor?
I mean, I would do Survivor.
That show's dope to me. I love Survivor.
Yeah, that was my original show.
Yeah,
I
that's your
got.
plan.
Yeah,
That's definitely
that was
a good
my
show.
plan. But that is a little like you're on an island for 30 days, no food. Like you get a little you got to walk a mile up to get a little rice bowl or some shit.
I've definitely always wondered, like, how long these shows are.
So they're all different. I know Survivor is like 30 days. Big Brother's like 100. The challenge
Wow,
is
that's a long time.
yeah. The challenge is normally like depending on filming anywhere from 5 to 8 days or 8 weeks. So it could be 40, 50 days or as long as 70 days. And I've done this 6 times, including Big Brother. Once on Big Brother, 5 on the challenge. So it's like you go into this like social experiment, right? And you leave reality. You leave the world for
Yeah.
2 to 3 months every year for 5, 6 years. Your brain starts to like
I was gonna say, is it,
not
like,
even know
mentally-
what reality is if like because in there you're playing the game. You're like, who's trying to fuck me over?
Yeah.
And you get really good at reading people. So now you get in the real world and you
You're
sit
Matt
in a room
Paranoid?
and you're like, not paranoid, but you're like reading the room, like, and you're like, I know I ain't wrong. So then, like, you're playing the game in real life, essentially, you know. So
I feel like
it
that's
helps.
the story of my life. I feel like you just described how I live my life regularly. I just thought that was
Who's out to get me?
I thought that was the default. I thought that's how people
Some
live.
people do, but a lot of people be out here clueless as fuck, bro.
Oblivious to everything.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
constantly scanning shit around me, checking my environment, but like not even on some like, oh, there's some ops. I don't even have no
Yeah.
beef with nobody.
No.
I'm just like, I might have to clap on him in a second. I'm gonna roast this nigga. This nigga looks like he gets
It's a
bitches.
comedian
I gotta make
version,
sure,
though.
like,
Oh,
like
I
I'm
got
constantly
a comedy
like,
version of that. But
yeah, I'm okay. So I do stand up comedy. I'm a comedian. I make content too. And just doing crowd work. That's kind of like how stand up, like the way of the world is right now. Like that's what people want to see. So I'm constantly like in the audience, like, all right, I got to make an observation about that. If this person gets up and walks during my set, I gotta acknowledge it. Not because it distracted me or because I care, but because the audience expects me to. So like, I go into every room with that type of like mentality. Like, I already got like 5 burns lined up for each of y'all, just in case. Just in case y'all want to come at me. What? Would you say, nigga? Keep that hat on right now, nigga. Don't take the hat off again, though.
I'm freaking done.
Yeah, see, my problem is I always have that one-liner ready to go in
Yeah.
case someone goes, but mine always goes way too far. Like I said, that's why like I'm always like
It's like
either
past the trolling.
yeah, it's like I don't know how to like semi-fuck around.
There's
Like
a
I'll be
level of
insulted as
decorum.
fuck sometimes.
I feel, and this is no slight to you, I feel like that is a female quality. You ever try to like play the dozens or diss your girl?
And then just go full.
Yeah, you be like,
Full send
yo,
on you.
yeah, babe, you crazy with that bonnet on. She's like, yeah, that's why your dick's small and your mattress
But I'm
smells
petty,
bad.
bro.
Like,
You can call it feminine. I'm just petty, bro. Like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
It's
Like,
petty,
I feel like
right? It's-
I'm the nicest, most respectful person in the world. I
Just
go
don't
above,
come at me,
above and
right?
beyond for people.
Chill.
But the moment someone starts trying to like get one up on me,
Yeah.
I'm straight. Now I'm like, I gotta beat you at your own game, like,
Right.
because obviously I could beat your ass. I'm bigger than not unless you're a fucking big ass dude. But 90% of dudes walking around, I'm like, I have problems with. I'm like, man, I wish I could just tee off on you. That's not how society works.
We gotta verbally
Especially on
abuse
the
you.
reality shows, you
Yeah.
get kicked off, that you losing money. So it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, you gotta play smarter. So you gotta
Shout
beat
out
them
to
at their own
Poppin'
game.
Snacks. Yeah.
What's the closest like you gotten to like I'm gonna tee off on this dude right now. I don't care about this TV shit.
Well, I actually got kicked off the show for pushing somebody in the face.
And then
mushed
you still get like
somebody?
invited back, or
Thankfully, I did get invited back, but it was kind of a weird altercation because this was my 3rd season on the challenge. It was like maybe only not even halfway through the season. I had a good shot at winning that one too. Me and my boy actually got into it, but he's very emotional and like wears emotion on his sleeves. So he's always like that. But he was drunk. He was mad at a decision I made in the game. He got in my face, started pointing like this. So I'm like, damn, I was like back up and like to his chin with like an open, just like this. It wasn't a slap or like a punch. It was like, yo, watch
chin
out.
mush.
Yeah, a chin mush. And after that, he threw a wine glass at me and all this, and they
Whoa.
decided to kick me off
Not
because
him?
not him. Which whatever, I'll
get
never
you.
politic to get my boy kicked off for some stupid whatever. But because I put my hands on him, and
Gotcha.
it was something I had to deal with because even though it was petty and they've let other shit slide on the show, I had full control over that. You know, if like I wouldn't have done that, I would still be there. You know, so that's something I had to live with.
I like that mentality, and you said that earlier. It sounds like you take a lot of accountability, and the responsibility is kind of in your hands. That's a cool ass thing to observe in another person. So
It's just like I've taken so many like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not blessed because I am fortunate, but one, I'm not no millionaire. I'm not out here fucking living lavish. Like I got money to pay my bills from reality TV. That's really it. But I've taken so many losses, whether it's like I thought I was gonna have a good shot going pro in the league, like not be a high draft pick, but like I was gonna get invited to camp, show what I could do, and like I'm a hustler, bro. That's
Yeah.
how I
You
make
get after it.
I get after it. That's how I make all my money, bro. So that was a big loss for me. I was depressed for a couple years when I didn't get a shot at the league, and then I had, a couple shots where I was on the final day of the challenge to win $500,000, and I blew it on the final day. Not a lot of people make it to the final. 30 people start off, 4 or 5 people make it to the end. I've done that 3 times, lost on the last day, 500,000. So it's like I take accountability because it's like, yeah, man, I've taken all these losses on national television in front of the public eye, and it's like it makes me stronger because I'm like,
Sure.
y'all judging me and this and that, and it just makes me be like, damn, I'm so glad I am who I am because not a lot of people are like
Take
that.
that
You know.
loss.
Yeah, and it's like people we grew up with and people on this couch are like that. But like people who judge online and like a lot of
Keyboard
people on the show,
warriors.
they're not like that. People are different, you know, like than the environment we grew up in. Like that's how I feel.
Do you have like a core fan base, or does like the show have like a super recognizable audience, like where people will just come up to you all the time and be like, oh, I watch this show, like I live for this show every week to watch to see how you do?
Yeah, like I feel like online I have like a pretty true,
Fessy's poppin'.
solid fan base
Fessy's
that like
poppin'.
for 5-6 years now I see the same faces, same avatars, like every post, showing
cool.
love.
That's super dope.
And then in real life, like I went to Hard Rock Live in City Walk last night for my girls' Dan Newland Christmas party. I hadn't been going outside. I bought a house. I've been inside for a couple months. I must have took like 20 pictures, and I was like, and most time it's like, you get some people like, Fessy, I love you, but you know, sometimes it's like, I love the challenge and you're a part of it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I've been able to be on 5 seasons and not just be a one and done.
You're a household name to
That's
them.
I've been able to be blessed to be there long enough, and it's because of the decisions I made on the show, the tough decisions, me staying true to my name on the show. Which at first fans were like, "Who is this guy? Who he think he is?" But now I'm here, and now it's like, "Oh shit! All right, that's just Fess." Like, you know.
Do
that's-
people ever call you, accuse you of a Chad? Or being a Chad?
Nah, I don't even. What is that from? That
Like
Cause
a
like,
frat
Mountain
boy.
State thing?
Frat boy douchebag.
Yeah, cause like I be seeing some of the comments. I'm like, bro, like Fessal's a good dude. Like he may look, yeah, but
I feel like
he's
more like
mad
finance
cool.
bros.
A Chad
or
is just like a
Chads.
bro, like a kind of like a frat guy. I guess you
I'm
would
definitely
say.
not
like,
one of those.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
hell
not.
no.
one of those like,
Like,
I
all
drink
Chads have a
beers
certain laugh.
and get women. I try to like get bitches. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes they be just saying dumb shit in the comments. I'm like, yo, they didn't even know this, man.
But yeah, and that's also because when I got on the show, you have, like I said, these fan favorites who've been on 20 plus years, built up 20 seasons of fan base from the show, right? They got 20 years of work. Then I come on, and even though this is my first season on the challenge, I got 20 plus years of work outside of the show that gave me this confidence. Like, I've been balling on the field.
Been getting sacks, been getting
Facts.
interceptions.
Been doing this stuff. So, like, yeah, that's a different thing. It's not the challenge, but I show up ready to compete, and I know my worth. So the world didn't know my worth, and a lot of people still don't know my worth on that show because I haven't won. Until you cross that finish line first, they gonna tear you down like it's their job. Until you, and even
That's
when
just-
you do win.
That's just
That's
the way
life
of the
in general,
internet.
though,
Yeah,
too.
and you
People
learn
wanna
that.
hate
After
on
you win,
regardless.
all that matters, you're only as good as your last win. Because then they're going to be like, oh, well, you're not
Exactly.
the winner of this year. You're not the winner of 2025. You're not even on the show anymore. It's like, I already won. Like,
Yeah.
what, you guys want me to come back forever until I'm 80?
But I already know Fessal's a competitor. He's gonna get it done regardless. So Fessal, we have this thing called the home game on the OutEast podcast.
Dill, let me stop you right there before you ask your question. I feel like every single podcast that I've been on, we bring up the home game, and I don't think you ever explain it to our guests well. Can I take a stab at explaining the home game?
Please go ahead. I think what I do is cool, but Mr. 407 Kevin.
No,
go ahead.
no. Do it, and then I'm gonna critique afterwards. How
All right,
about
say
that?
less, say less.
All right, say less.
So Fessal, we have this thing called home game on the OutEast podcast, and essentially what a home game is, it's a spot where like you'll take a girl that you're dating, a girlfriend, or somebody, or a girl that you're trying to impress, and like you know how the menu is, you like the ambiance, and it's like whatever plans you have after that date, that night or later on in the week, it's like it's a guaranteed W. It's like you're gonna score, and whatever scoring is to you. So what is a?
I mean,
what is,
I think I'm the wrong person to ask this question because I feel like no matter what, like I said, I bring my A game every time.
It's
So
nothing but
It's
that.
regardless.
it's like, okay, it's like, I'll also say this. Everybody's like, what are you wearing tonight? I'm like, bro, I'm 6'4". That's my outfit when I walk out the house.
I like that he knows. He
So
knows.
It's like, it don't matter where we
I
going.
could
You're
be
going
as
to have a
bummy
good
as
time.
fuck.
You're
I'm
going to
tall.
have a good time. It's not just being tall, but I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to wear sometimes, but I'm like, shit, I'm 6'4", I'll be all right.
Yeah.
They gonna
I'm
see
glad
me
that
when
you
I
know.
walk through the door. You know what I'm saying?
That's
kinda my
the
mindset.
male equivalent of pretty privilege. Like you're tall. You're tall. You're winning, bro.
Shit, my back be hurting like a motherfucker though. So.
Yo, pretty women also have problems. Like niggas are hollering at them all the time. They get.
But I ain't pretty boy. I ain't no pretty boy.
I'm saying
that,
tall.
Just 'cause I'm on TV and tall don't mean I'm a damn pretty boy.
Women who are pretty and men who are tall are the equivalent.
You ever see the videos like on Instagram where it's like you ask the girl like how tall does the guy have to be? Over 6 foot.
Yeah. That's the standard.
You know?
That's the. I feel like
it's unrealistic.
They'll let a lot of shit slide. They'll let a lot of red flags.
That's like 6'2". I'm a good 6'2". I get away with some shit.
I feel like I get away with a lot of shit, and I'm 5'11", so I can only imagine.
But you funny though.
Yeah.
I love funny guys.
I can only imagine if I was in shape, whooping niggas' asses on reality TV, and I had extra 5 inches.
Hey, yo.
In height. Pause. And I also want to issue this personal apology to Dill at this moment. That was a great representation of the home game. I want to personally apologize.
It's okay.
Dap me up because the fans be thinking we beefing and shit. Yo, I love this nigga. So
It's me.
So the question is, where would I take a girl?
Yeah, like
a home game is essentially like this.
Your bread and butter. Where you going?
Exactly.
You feel
No
most confident.
matter
I
what.
I feel like
Yeah.
Don Julio in Lake Nona. That shit.
I like Don Julio.
You get the little girls walking around. That shit lit as fucking there. The food be fire, cheap, comes out fast. The drinks fire.
You can sit outside. It's got a good ambience. You can sit inside.
That's the place to go. Don Julio, Lake Nona. If y'all live in Orlando and you ain't been to Don Julio in Lake Nona, that's the spot to be. Friday, Saturday night. Shit, what time is it right now?
Right.
I like agave. Agave is my thing, but
The one where? On Kirkman? Where's Agave?
Yeah.
I've been to that one. I had
Cimarron.
There's one on Cimarron near the airport. There's one on Winter
I've never
Park.
been to those.
The one in Winter Park is gas, and the one on Cimarron is cool. But the Kirkman one, I went there with a shorty, and then like 2 minutes in, she's like, "We're gonna leave."
Oof.
Still to this day, I don't know
That
why.
bad?
I don't want to put no name. It could have just been a bartender like, "Oh, she's pretty," and he gave her a wrong look that she didn't like. She immediately stormed out, and I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?"
She didn't even talk to you about it?
She's like, "I just got to leave. I have to go." I'm just like,
Damn. Maybe it
Y'all
was you.
Never again?
I don't want to talk
It was
about
you
it.
then.
I love how he tried to put it on agave, but it was really him.
No. We're still cool. Chill. We're still cool.
He didn't open doors for her. He was talking reckless and shit. He's like, "Yeah, my hair's prettier than yours."
Blame it on the food?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard of it before.
So, Fessy, I know you into sports, right? So, like, what do you think about everything that's kind of like going on in sports right now? So, back in the day, like, players could get away with shit and nobody was talking about nothing. But now it's like you see stuff with John Moran or Josh Giddey with the, with his situation. Like, how do you feel about that?
It's just the way the world is, like in general, with social media being so popular and everybody like essentially being a judge on social media. Like they're waiting for you when you get to the top and you're in the spotlight and you're at the max. You could be as financial as a human. $200 million these NBA players are making, whatever they're making. They're waiting for you to fuck up, right? And you just, it sucks that I'm not saying what Ja did he should have done or whatever, but people are debating how big of a deal all these things, all these NBA players do, and you got a microscope on you. So you have to know that. And I think, some of the players being younger, you get all this money. Not speaking on Ja's situation, I love Ja as a player, but I think you got to know you're under a microscope. And
You're representing a brand.
yeah.
I think even with like crime in America, has actually gone down since the 80s, but because we have social media and news is in real
media killing the
time.
world.
Yeah, they're being able to record a lot of shit. But
Yeah.
I feel like no matter what you do, especially when we highlight the fact that people are so young, it's like we're
What
all
expects?
gonna make a mistake. We're all gonna mess up. But because I'm in the limelight and the camera is on me, my mistakes are just highlighted so much more.
sure.
But I also feel like people in America and the world in general want to support an underdog, and you're most
100%
underdog
facts.
when you're not a millionaire, when you're not rich. So the moment that you get up and now you're a pro athlete or a celebrity or a comedian or whatever, you don't relate to those people anymore because you're like, oh, well, I'm not up. I'm still struggling working a 9 to 5. So you want to see those people fail or get their comeuppance because they're like, oh, their life is too easy.
What's
quote,
that saying
unquote.
about people want you to do good until you're doing better than them?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
How's it been, Fessy, with SlamBall? Like, how's that been versus like playing it like actual like pickup game or organized basketball?
Well, before we get into SlamBall, because that's a whole nother subject, he was saying, people like what they can relate to. And I was just going to piggyback off that because I think on reality TV, why I've had such a hard time resonating with a lot of the fan base is because I don't relate to a lot of them. You know,
Yeah.
I show up and I'm confident and
Yeah.
I'm this and that and I want to win and I'm here to bust everybody's ass.
That's not the way of the world.
And that's honestly, that's what they're showing of me on reality television, right? I still have my flaws, you know, my doubts, all this, what I'm going through, but they're showing me be the confident guy, which mostly I am.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody, they're waiting for me to
That
fall.
cross people's skin sometimes. That
Yeah.
cringe, because they're not confident. And I feel like I deal with this in my personal life because I have to be confident because of stand-up. That people who are insecure or not confident, they don't want to see you be confident because it
Project their
comes
insecurities onto you.
it comes off as arrogance in their face. They're like, oh, this person is showboating in front of me. Like, no, I don't think I'm better than you. I'm not telling. I feel even weird just saying I do stand-up. And why should I feel weird about that? It's what I do, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But to some people, I have to be like careful how I say that because I don't want them to think like that I'm shitting on them. Like, oh, I have this like different, unique style, unconventional career that I'm getting paid off of. So it's like it's a feeling of like constantly like, oh, am I making people feel uncomfortable with my arrogance, even though I don't feel arrogant at all.
Yeah, and that's like what me on the show is. I'm in a competitive environment where there's a lot of money on the line and a lot of
Supposed to win.
egos, and I'm here to like,
Destroy.
yeah, state my dominance, you know? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to be like this. Now, if you meet me off the show, you want a picture, I'll never be like, fuck you. I'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah, come on, hey, nice to meet you, appreciate it. Because we're not in competition. You're appreciating me, and I'll forever be grateful. But when I'm on the show competing,
Gladiator.
I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to show I'm the baddest motherfucker
Get the
there.
bag,
That's what I'm
destroy
there.
them.
And
That's
when-
the festival I like.
And when
Yeah.
you watching somebody like that and you're home and you're overweight or you're not really where you want to be in life, seeing somebody who takes charge, takes control, is 6'4", is in shape, is getting with girls, they're like, oh nah, that dude is a misogynist, or that dude is lame,
Yeah.
or that whatever. Like they'll put anything on your name to try to like bring
Drag
you
you
down
down.
to their level.
But it's like the same thing. It's like, oh, he's got it going on. This is like I said, I got my own shit I'm struggling with. Like
We all do.
I'm in good shape and I do this, but I'm not in the best shape I want to be. I'm
Right.
trying to work on my diet. I'm trying to do this. So like, but I'm still confident in the fact that even if I lose, I know I gave that shit all I had, and nobody gonna say like, oh, Fessy didn't give it his all or whatever. Like, no, I show up there to bust my ass, bust everybody's ass in the process.
That's one of the things that I do like about this new internet age. You actually now have the chance to get on podcasts like this and get on and show people a different side of you. Because before, they only would watch what they see of you on TV and they never really humanize you. They don't really know you as a person.
They think you're an inanimate object or
Right.
something.
Right.
You fuck with David Goggins?
Hell yeah. Bro, sometimes, bro, I'll be on my couch in the morning, right? Like, eating some Little Debbie bites or some shit.
Or David
And
Goggins
I'm
there
on
right now.
Instagram and he's like running. He's like, you motherfucker, get your ass off the couch. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Yo, I love him. Yeah.
What do your friends and family think of all of this success that you've had with reality TV? Do they act different? They treat you the same? They show you love?
Yeah.
Do you have a tight circle, a big circle? What's that like?
I think me just being, like I said, I grew up an introvert, but I am a very, friendly person. So I keep the connections I have. So I have my tight circle, but like I said, like I've known Dylan 15 plus years and we kept the connection, because I've always just remained solid with the people I try to come in contact with. But as far as my parents, they've been the biggest support system ever.
Super dope.
But what I do, like my parents, my dad's from Pakistan. He came over here when he was 16. So he didn't play sports. It's not like I'm that big guy whose dad was also football player. Like,
Yeah.
Nepotism, but with sports.
yeah. So, and my mom, great mom. She did everything, but she didn't know anything about sports. So I kind of figured all that. Like they were supporting me, but it's not like I had, that dad was like, get to practice this.
Yeah,
I kind of fell in love with it on my own,
Yeah.
and
Cracking heads.
so what I'm saying is this is all new to them, what I'm doing. So they're kind of just enjoying
Is your mom
it.
also Pakistani?
Oh, got a white mom.
Oh, she's American?
Yeah.
So your dad moved here and he met his wife here in the States? That's cool.
Yeah.
So what's that like in terms of like the cultures? Your dad being like first generation immigrant and your mom being of this culture. What's that like for you growing up?
Yeah, you got both sides to it, right? Because my mom was the one taking me to practice, doing all this, so I spent a lot of time with my mom. and that was, the American side of the culture. But then my dad also, he's making biryani, chicken curry, all this.
Yeah.
He's speaking Urdu to his friends. I'm going to the mosque with him. I'm reading the Quran with him. So I had both sides to this, you know. So it kind of, I think being so diverse is actually, beneficial in the world. Like maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was like, oh, unless you're white, this, that. But now, like, it's kind of, at least in my opinion, in my eyes, I kind of like that I got, like, a little mixture, like, a little diversity to me because, it's unique.
Diversity and diversity hires at our all-time high. If you're black, gay, woman,
anything
foreign,
they're hiring.
the quotas for sure.
Hey, sit the fuck down, white straight man. We're sick of you, dog. We're done with you. White man watching this right now. I'm just kidding, kinda. Sorry. Shout out to Poppin' Snacks again, out here sponsoring us, showing us love. Right now, I'm eating some of these Cheetos. I think this is like real beef Cheetos. I don't know, but it's delicious. So shout out to that.
But Fess, I want to ask you about the SlamBall. Like, what's up with that? Like,
so the story behind SlamBall. So anybody who doesn't know what SlamBall is, it was popular about 20 years ago.
I remember it.
Real popular, and I think something happened with the investors or the network. They cut it off. It went away for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So this summer was the first season it came back, and I didn't even really know. I was away in Croatia filming the challenge. I come back. I'm actually in Puerto Rico with my girl in the airport, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm seeing something about SlamBall draft. They're selecting all these players. I'm clicking on, they're tagging the players. They're like ex-college athletes, all this. So I'm like, fuck it.
This is for me.
Yeah, I shoot them a DM. Not even I'm like, they're already in the draft. They got their players and whatever. Yeah. I was like, scoop me up. Those 3 words. That's what I said. So it really wasn't like a whole pitch, right? It was like, scoop me up, just like throwing the bait out there, seeing if it sticks.
Who I am.
So they text DM me back like, hey, this is Rob Wilson. I'm with SlamBall. Can I call you? They're like, can you get on a flight out here tomorrow?
Sheesh.
So I was like, damn, I got to do this because if not, I'm going to regret seeing it on TV. Like, I could have done it.
Yeah.
So they're like, if you pay for your flight, we'll work you out for 2 to 3 days, and then we'll let you know if you make a team. And while you're out here, we'll pay for your hotel, compensation for food. You just got to cover your flight out here. So I was like, fuck it. Got on the plane, went to Vegas, ended up making the team, ended up starting all games, leading the league in stops. So it was...
Getting a couple...
That's fire.
But it was all... I will say this about SlamBall. They brought ex-professional athletes, Division I athletes, basketball players, like... They didn't bring no slaps. Like, there was people, when I walked in, I was like, damn, I'm not the biggest dude in the room. Like, I'm not the smallest dude in the room, but I'm average size out here. They had like 6'9", 270, 6'7" all day. You know?
Takashi was out there playing SlamBall?
Who?
No, sorry.
Takashi?
Yeah, he said 6'9". Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Sorry, I apologize. Sorry.
I was like, what does he got to do with SlamBall?
Apologize. Sorry, guys. They're not gonna all be bangers tonight. Sorry.
They're slow burners.
Yeah, sometimes. Yo, this melon Kit Kat is probably the best Kit Kat I've ever.
Refreshing Kit Kat, right?
It's one of the
Because
best
like
Kit
most
Kats
Kit
I've ever
Kats
had
are
in my
all
life.
like chocolate flavor, chocolate variants, and that's like a very refreshing flavor.
Yeah, but you don't know what to expect when you think melon. But I feel like they did a good job on melon.
Representing melon?
Yeah. It don't taste like no cantaloupe or
Kit
nothing.
Kat gonna slap regardless.
Right,
They can
right.
put
Yeah.
Kit Kat's
goddamn
my favorite
hot
candy
wing
ever.
flavor Kit
Right.
Kat. That shit
They
goes
like,
down.
oh yeah, these are these bacon Kit Kats. Like, yeah,
Okay,
bring that
run
over.
it.
Run it.
Word.
Hey, Marco, I'm gonna tell you one last time. Don't take that hat off on camera
You
again,
know
dog. Yo,
what?
leave that hat
He's
on,
a
dog.
skinhead. He's a skinhead. Stop it.
Chill.
I'm just playing. He's not.
I love it.
Crazy.
Tattoo
I
on my head.
embrace it. No, not yet.
You have any tats, Fess?
Nope.
Yeah, I
Good.
haven't either.
Look, you half Muslim? Like, were you raised Muslim?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get tattoos.
No. Because the way it is like, first of all, I'm not the perfect Muslim or anything, but you know, I try. But a big thing is you're not supposed to alter the body God gave you, right? And so I kind of always followed that. And like, as I was getting older, everybody getting all these tattoos, and it's like, damn, I'm kind of the
odd one out now.
yeah, because
for sure.
people
I
want to get
almost
tattoos.
like
Everyone has
that a
fucking
little
sleeves
bit.
now.
I
and
think
shit.
the sleeves and shit look cool. Don't get me
It
wrong.
does.
I think if I was sleeved up, I'd
You,
look
yeah.
Don't
You
get me
already
wrong.
6'4", nigga. We don't need you with the tattoos, dog. Leave some bitches for us, dog. Please.
Yeah, so What was the question about that?
He took off his hat, dog. He got a perfect head of hair and shit. Look at him.
Hey, look, I ain't got the beard though.
Nah, yo.
God was like, I can't give you no full beard, boy.
This guy is GQ smooth, dog.
Nah, man, I appreciate it, man.
Well, Faysal, we're gonna wrap this up, bro. But if there's any closing remarks you have, or where could they find you at? Where could the people find you at, Fess?
Everything on social media is Fessy Fitness, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that. But I'm on IG the most, Fessy Fitness, if you want to check out some dope videos.
Any closing remarks? What you got to say to the people on the challenge?
Words of motivation.
All that. Give it up.
Damn, I ain't got no quotes. I would have to look them up. I got them all screenshotted. But I want to say I appreciate you having me on the podcast. Nice meeting all y'all. I fuck with popping snacks. Y'all gonna have to give me a little care package. I'm gonna shout y'all on Instagram for y'all. Cause my girl, she told me to tell y'all she liked to eat, so we gonna eat some snacks. So.
Okay.
And as far as the challenge goes, man, anybody watching, challenge fans, man, been on 5 seasons, been to 3 finals, and I'm itching for that win. You know, I know it's hard, but I show up every season like I'm the favorite to win. You're going to have to come through me, and that's going to be my mindset every time I step on that show.
I love it.
So,
What's next for you? You got anything in the pipeline?
So I'm still waiting to hear as far as when the next film of the challenge, if I'm going to be on. I don't know any of that info yet. But as far as SlamBall goes, they're going to do another season starting up in April. So I'm definitely going to be...
Definitely to pop out to a game, support.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. If you ain't checked out SlamBall, you can go on YouTube. Just type in SlamBall. Go to Instagram, type in SlamBall. You can see all the videos. It's crazy, and it's a real sport. Like, they got $11 million in investments, initial investments from last season from Blake Griffin, Gary Vee, some other NBA players. So, like, it's legit. They got the funds. They got everything. They ran it legit, so... Yeah, it's going to be dope. So it's going to be a big year, 2024. I'm just trying to keep my head down, keep my mental strong, and stay in shape, man.
I feel that. Well, hey, it's another episode of the OutEast podcast. Before we dip, shout out to Poppin' Snacks one last time. Shout out to Flavor Vaporizers. This is Dylan, Mr. 407 Kevin, Marco, and Fessy Fitness.
Yes, sir.
Y'all take care. Have a good one.
Peace.